What's up guys, Infernape here, and it's time to talk about some pretty hard battles in the Pokemon games. Now I'm sure many of you have struggled with Pokemon battles from time to time, and I have had my fair share of tough battles throughout my playthrough of Pokemon games, so I thought I'd share some with you guys. Be sure to keep in mind that all of these are just my own opinion. Like, you're free to have your own opinion. So let me know down in the comments what you think is the hardest Pokemon battle in the Pokemon franchise. So without further ado, let's get into the video. At number 10, we have Hugh from the post-game of Black and White 2. Now, I definitely find Hugh quite interesting. Like, he's a really a cool rival. Like, he's more of a friendly rival, cross between a hateful rival, to be honest. And I find it quite cool that he goes on a Pokemon journey just so he can find his little sister's Purloin, which evolved into Lipard. But his team in the post-game is insane. Like, not only does he pick the starter Pokemon that's stronger against yours, he picks the monkey Pokemon that's weaker against your starter, and he also has the Unpheasant line. But when you go into the Pokemon League or Victory Road or whatever, he goes and captures a Bouffalont, which is quite difficult if you don't know how to handle a Bouffalont. But in the post game, you have an Electros which has no weaknesses, and to wrap it all up is a OP as hell Flygon. And if you don't know how to deal with a Flygon, you are screwed. Literally, Flygon has incredible stats, and it is insane to battle against, especially with its item, the Dragon Claw or whatever it is, and Dragon Fang or whatever. And if you don't know how to handle this thing, you're going to be stuck dealing with this for such a long time. Like, I actually struggled against him during my first playthrough of Black and White 2, and it took me so many attempts just to beat him. But there are so many other hard trainers out there, I thought I'd stick him at number 10. At number 9, we have Whitney. Now, I'm pretty sure that this is the gym leader that pretty much ended the career of many Pokemon trainers throughout the world. And literally, this gym leader is insane. Yeah. It has two Pokemon, which her first one that is a Clefairy was literally the least of your problems, with Double Slap, Metronome, and Cute Charm that'll make you angry. But that is not what the problem is. The problem is with her second Pokemon, which is my least favourite Pokemon of all time, her Miltank. Miltank just makes me want to rip my goddamn hair out. Like, if you want to use a ghost Pokemon, don't bother. It's got the Scrappy ability, which will literally allow it to use normal type moves against a ghost type Pokemon. And she'll go with Rollout, which will literally end any of your Pokemon. And literally, it's just insane to battle. I highly recommend you actually use the in-game trade for the female Machop, because that's literally the only way you can actually beat Whitney, as far as I'm concerned. At number 8, we have Claire. Now, if you think that Whitney is a problem, you haven't met Claire. She is infuriating, and it's literally for the same reason for Whitney, just one Pokemon. Her Gyarados isn't really that much of a problem as long as you use a strong electric attack like Discharge or Thunderbolt. Both her Dragonair are okay-ish as long as you have like a Stab Ice Beam, but those Pokemon aren't the problem. The problem is her ace Pokemon, and that is a Kingdra. That Kingdra is insane. Like, if you don't know how to deal with Claire's Kingdra, she'll knock you out without even batting an eyelash. Literally, she's got Hydro Pump, Hyper Beam, Smoke Screen, and Dragon Pulse, I think. And literally, like, it's just so infuriating in the battle. It'll just use Smoke Screen to lower your accuracy and hit you with powerful Hydro Pumps, Hyper Beam, and Dragon Pulses before you can even land an attack. It's so infuriating unless you have a move that's guaranteed to hit, like Aerial Ace, Shockwave, or Swift. It's just so annoying to battle Claire, and after you even beat her, she doesn't even give you the gym badge. And you have to go through an entire quest just so you can get the gym badge. And it is just so annoying, and that's why she is on this list. At number 7, we have the leader of Team Plasma, Getsis. Now, Getsis mainly focuses on pure power and pure brutality. Sure, his Coppergreekus, Bisharp, and Seismitoad aren't really much of a problem, but it's his other 3 team members that will bring you hell. His Bouffalant, his Electros, and to top it all off, his Hydreigon. And that Hydreigon can pretty much counter any type that you can think of. It's just so infuriating the battle unless you have like picked Ember and have Brick Break on it. Even that is a bit of a risk because that thing has Surf. It's just so annoying to battle, and it makes me pull my hair out every time I have to battle Getsis. At number 6, we have probably the strongest gym leader in my own opinion, and that is One. Now, One is just so unfair. Like, he's got so many weird tactics up his sleeve. Let's build down his team, shall we? We have a love disc with Water Pulse, Attract, Suicune, and Flail, which is literally probably the weakest member of his party. A Whiscash, with a decent attacks but a 4 times weakness to Grass. A Celio, with a Body Slam, Water Pulse, to make you have a Parafusion, and the move Encore that will really make you pull your hair out. A Crawdaunt with Taunt to make sure you can't use any supporting moves, with Leer and Crabhammer to make it get a quick win. And finally, just like Claire, he's got his own pain-in-the-ass Kingdra, and it is even more challenging than Claire's Kingdra by far. Like I mentioned earlier, Claire's Kingdra's got Smokescreen, which you can easily get rid of by switching your Pokemon. But One's Kingdra has Double Team, which means you can't do anything to eliminate it unless you have your own Smokescreen. But fat chance of that working if that thing gets even 2 Double Teams out. And not only that, it has Water Pulse for stab to make your opponent confused, and has Ice Beam aim to make sure that you can't attack it regardless. And not only that, if you do attack it and its HP is a low half health, it can use Rest with the Chesto Berry and get all of its health back, and can easily just sweep your entire team. Like I said earlier, unless you have Aerial Ace, Shockwave, or Swift, you aren't going to do anything. That thing is even more painful to battle against than Claire's Kingdra. At number 5, we have Lance from the post-game. Man, I feel like so many trainers are a lot more powerful in the post-game, and Lance is no exception. Like, in the main story game, like, his team is nothing to sneeze at. All you need is a handful of good electric types and rock types. But in the post-game, you're going to need to bring a lot more power to the game. Now, his Gyarados, Altaria, and Charizard aren't much of a problem. It's his other 3 members that will bring you hell. Pokemon he chooses first is a Salamence with Dragon and Shadow Claw, Rest and Flamethrower to cover its ice weakness, a Garchomp with a Sword Stance to up its already OP attack power, Outrage and Earthquake for stab, and if he feels like it, he can use Roar to switch your opposing Pokemon with someone else in your party, and to top it all off, his most powerful Pokemon on the team, his Dragonite. And oh lordy, are you going to have a problem with this Dragonite? To be fair, all his Dragonite knows are special attacks, and he also has Safeguard, but his Hyper Beam, Aim, and Fire Blast are going to be a bit of a problem if it doesn't use Draco Meteor first. And if he uses Draco Meteor first, special attack power will drop by quite a bit, so that means it won't be as annoying. But if he doesn't use Draco Meteor, you are going to be stuck with one of the most strongest Pokemon that you have ever come across, ever. At number 4, we have another Pokemon champion to go onto the list, and it is Champion Blue from Pokemon Yellow. Now, I feel like in all the other games, Blue isn't much of a problem. But in Pokemon Yellow, that is a completely different species. I'm gonna base this off of when he evolves his Eevee into a Jolteon, because that's pretty much what most people go for, as far as I'm concerned. Like, his three Earth, Water, and Fire Pokemon aren't much of a problem, and neither is Sandslash. Like, the main problem is the Jolteon, and to top it all off, his stupid Alakazam. I cannot bear to battle his Alakazam. I can't even bear to battle any Alakazam regardless. Like, it took me so many attempts on the first time I ever played Pokemon Yellow on the Virtual Console. And I hated that game after I lost to him literally again and again and again and again. I can't remember how many times I had lost to his Alakazam. It literally made me so livid, I cannot even put it into words. If you want on to beat his Alakazam, you need to use a Snorlax. Like, all normal attacks were considered physical attacks. So if you give your Snorlax the right level and it has Body Slam or Hyper Beam, that thing will be destroyed. And then you will easily sweep through the rest of his team. At number 3, we have the final Pokemon champion on this list, and it has got to be the strongest champion out of all of them, and that is Cynthia. If you've not battled Cynthia, I'm so happy for you, because Cynthia is just so insane to battle against. Like, no matter what, all of Cynthia's team is indestructible. Like, she has at least one Pokemon that can uncover another Pokemon's weaknesses. Like, all of her team could cover the rest of the team's weaknesses. It's unbelievable to battle and unfair. Let's run through her team, shall we? We've got her Spiritomb with great special attack with Silver Wind, which can raise all of its stats. A Roserade with great 8 special stab attacks, which can literally make you want to go angry at any time. Either a Gastrodon with amazing bulk or a powerful Togekiss, depending on which version you're playing. A Lucario, which is a speed demon with great priority attacks and will annihilate you with a perfect Aura Sphere. A Milotic with great special bulk and special attacking power, which will make you want to rip your hair out. And finally, the strongest member of her team, her goddamn Garchomp, which has max IVs and has great attack stats depending on what game you're playing. Like, in Pokemon on Diamond and Pearl, it will have Brick Break, but in Platinum, it'll have Flamethrower. Either of those attacks can easily annihilate its weakness to ice types, and all of his attacks could pretty much sweep your entire team in one hit. I cannot defeat Cynthia on my first go. I always have to save beforehand and have to keep trying to beat her. It is unbelievable, unfair, and I don't know if anybody could defeat Cynthia on their first turn. At number 2, we actually have someone from the Sinnoh Battle Frontier, the Tower Tycoon himself, Palmer. Now, his son Barry may not be much of a problem, but Palmer is unbelievable. Like, I cannot beat him on my first turn, just like Cynthia, but Palmer is way, way worse. Let me run down his team. A Dragonite with 2 stab attacks with his Dragon Claw and Aerial Ace, with Thunder Wave and Dragon Dance to raise its attack and speed even further. A Milotic with insane moves and bulk, and will literally make you want to cry. And the final member on his team is a goddamn Rhyperior! And that Rhyperior has given me so much grief, it is unbelievable. Like, Roar, Earthquake, Crunch, and Rock Wrecker is an unbelievable moveset. And not only that, it's holding a Focus Band, which will make sure you can't knock it out in one hit. And not only that, all 3 of his team members are EV trained. If you don't know what that is, look it up on YouTube. Literally, This is so insane, and that's just after you. That's just the first challenge. If you want to go for a second challenge, his team is even more insane. Heatran with great stab attacks, and if its focus sash goes down, he can use explosion to get rid of your team members. A Regigigas with like great 8 attack power, but with slow start, you should be fine as long as you don't drag out the battle in 5 turns, because then it will gain all of its attack and speed and knock out your entire team. Ace of his team is a Lunala with Ice Beam, Psychic, Moonlight, and Signal Beam, and it is so infuriating to battle. Literally, all of his Pokemon are insane. The natures it has can up the attack power that's best suited for them. Like if you look at like Heatran, it's got the quiet nature. Regigigas has the adamant nature, and Cresselia has the modest nature. And they all have great attacks that can up their power, and they're all EV trained as well. I've never actually faced this team before, but I do not want to, and I won't even try, because that team is too powerful. But there's still one more person that can overpower Palmer, in my own opinion. And finally, at number 1, we have someone that isn't even a trainer. It's a Pokemon, and it is Ultra Necrozma. I cannot defeat this thing on the first turn. Like, if I can't beat Cynthia on the first turn, no chance of anybody defeating Ultra Necrozma on the first turn. If you ever played Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, then you will know what I am talking about. When you face Ultra Necrozma, it'll up all of its stats by 2. And then it has Photon Geyser and Dragon Pulse for stab, and it has Power Gem and Smart Strike to deal with all of its weaknesses. Literally, I cannot defeat this thing on the first turn. It's so insane, so infuriating, and it makes me want to rip my goddamn hair out. And it has an ability which makes all of its moves that are super effective go up by 1.25. It's just so infuriating. I say the best way to actually kill this thing is to use Toxic and stall out until the Toxic kills it. It's just so annoying, and I just wish Ultra Necrozma wasn't as powerful as it actually is. And that's why it's at number 1. And there you have it, guys, my top 10 hardest battles in the Pokemon games. Now, I don't know if there are any battles that are harder than the ones I mentioned, but if you think there are ones that I left out, let me know down in the comments section below. Also, since no one has voted on what my fanbase should be called, I actually asked one of my friends who's just started being a YouTuber, and she recommended that I call my fanbase the Infernos. So, be sure to subscribe to my channel to be an Inferno today. Alright, that's it from me, so until the next time, this is Infernape, signing off. Bye!